You ever notice that mushrooms kind of almost can take on very organ-like appearances? Like sometimes they'll look like a kidney, right? Or they'll look like a liver, or like an ear. We're more closely related to mushrooms than we are related to plants. And we share the same kind of immune system with them. Right? So they have the same kind of immunofactors that we use, and their immune system works in our body. The sugar cellulose, plants are made out of a sugar called cellulose. We can't break down, but it's a complex carbohydrate. Well, the one that mushrooms are made out of, chitin, is also a carbohydrate. It's a sugar. But we call these polysaccharides. They're extremely complex sugar molecules. In addition to the chitin, which they're made of, they contain other molecules, the medicinal mushrooms do, called beta-glucans. And what these things are is these very complex sugars that when they get into your blood, they dock on white blood cells. So the white blood cells have little receptor sites, they're floating around, right? And these guys fit the receptor sites, and they dock on. Like a lock and key. And what happens is the white blood cell learns. It learns to do its job better. If it's been attacking its own tissue, it stops. If it's not doing its job, if it's been lazy, it's woken up. It becomes better at phagocytizing or eating organisms that need to be taken out of the body. It eats cancer cells. And there's this class of mushrooms called polypores. That means many pores. If we look at the bottom of that mushroom, there's no gill slits. It just looks like a white surface. And if you look close, there's hundreds of thousands of little tiny microscopic holes. You can see this. I'm going to pass it around. That's a polypore surface. All polypores are safe to consume if they grow on trees. Any tree polypore is safe to consume and is almost always going to be hypermedicinal to the immune system. The thing is the challenge of getting the medicine out. The beta-glucans have a difficult time coming out of into the tea, into the decoction, unless it's seen high heat for a while, because what we want to do is dissolve away anything that's holding the medicine inside. We have to dissolve it away. It doesn't happen in a 20-minute decoction. You can boil mushrooms down for hours. You can sometimes not boil them all day long. You just keep adding water in because the water level keeps going down, and you just keep boiling. Just so you know, you all are going to get the audio course, which has a lot more information than I have time to do today. But go back and listen, because it won't be just a repeat of everything we're saying today. There's a lot of specifics in there. You could boil something down, particularly if you wanted something really strong and concentrated, like if you were on a serious path to try to clean up your immune system, and you really want to use these kind of mushrooms like this, you could boil it down till it was like a thick sludge. That's all that's left. In cooking, they call that reducing something. It's like how you make a gravy, right? You could reduce it down until you just had like a sludge. And then you could take a powder, anything. You could take goji powder, you could take maca, you could take some kind of flour. Those powders are really flowers of the plant, right? Like a flower. Take that flour and mix it into the sludge. So you had like this thick paste, which you could spread onto dehydrator sheets and dry out. Then you could either crumble and powder that, like maybe drop it in here and just powder it, or drop it into get a coffee mill here. It's a great tool. This is the modern mortar and pestle, right? It's the old way, it's the new way. You could powder that down. You could make your own capsules, or you could make your own smoothie mix out of it. That would be a way to really super concentrate medicine. Now, if you were going to do that, you'd probably want to have a big pot, and you'd want to use a lot of herbs. But does everyone understand how that would work? Can I answer any questions about that process? That makes sense? An aqueous extract. And even if you don't have a dehydrator, you could do that in an oven, right? Especially with mushrooms where the heat doesn't matter, because you can boil these guys anyway, right? It doesn't matter. So you could put the heat real high.